going to go? What am I going to do? Am I happy? Or am I just following the wave and going with it? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, these questions have summed my psychological and mental current status. I'm in a state of my life that I'm going to a new phase of my life. I'm going to live a whole different life. I'm going to go to have a lot of big things upcoming. A whole different country, a whole different people, a whole different lifestyle, and most importantly, a lot of responsibilities. See, most of my life, everything was there for me. Everything was always prepared for me by my parents. I have never made a big decision. I always feel like everything is there. My parents make the big decisions for me. My parents choose where am I going to live. My parents choose the food I'm going to eat. My parents took care of everything. And now, I'm coming to a phase of life where I'll have to do all of this stuff. Where I will have to make big decisions. And I feel like when I'm going to make these big decisions, I will fail. Because I have never made one. Because everything was being taken care of. And when I'm going to do it, I'll feel like I will fail because I'm not prepared for this. And this, the fear from the future, made me so anxious and made me so hesitated and stressed. So I ran away to a wise friend of mine. I always run to that person when I need an advice because I trust their opinion. So I ran to that person and I sent him a message telling him exactly how I feel. Well, the person saw the message when he woke up. And he sent me an advice as soon as he woke up. And you can imagine how great this advice was because I'm making a whole speech about that person's advice, about that how that advice changed my life. But before I go into the details of the person's advice, I have a question. What is a decision? What is a decision? You see, we never know where our decisions come from. They just pop out. Something similar to hiccups. And we really don't know where do they come from. And what is a choice? A choice is the act of hesitation we make before making a decision. It's the mumbling, it's the mental mumbling inside of our heads. And when we make a decision, we always get that feel of anxiety. We always feel anxious. Did I think that long enough? Am I doing the right thing? Did I take enough data into consideration? We always ask ourselves these questions and it stresses us. I'm sure each one of you have this problem. We always feel like we are not making a good decision. And that is acceptable. Actually, that is very logical because if you think about it, the amount of data we can take in a certain given situation is infinite. You can never take enough data into consideration. There will always be parts you never thought of. And that's why we live in a state of doubt, and a state of hesitation. And that makes us anxious. And that makes us lose our self-confidence. And when you lose your self-confidence, you're going to do mistakes. And you're going to fail. And this is where my friend really helped me. He just said, it's way simpler than you think. It's way, way simpler than you think. You have always made decisions. It's not your first time making a big decision. There's not such a big or small decisions. It's always you choosing something. And he told me that when it comes to decisions, people rely on 3 different factors. And those 3 different factors can really change your life. The first factor being brain, logic, and reason. And this is really a great factor. It can reduce the amount of mistakes you can make But nothing is always logical. There are stuff in your life that doesn't make sense. And when you make decisions based on reason and logic all the time, you will feel bad. You will feel like your life is rigid. No emotions in there. You won't feel happy. So that's reason and logic. Other factor people rely on is emotions. And emotions give you temporary happiness. Because when you follow your emotions, at the beginning you will feel happy. But this happiness will slowly fade away because emotions are inconsistent and they will change every single day, and you will end up fooling yourself. You will end up making big mistakes and regretting a lot of it later. So here's the secret factor that I have never heard of. My friend told me you should rely on your intuition. Intuition is the voice inside of you. He told me that if I want to make a big decision, I need to look down deep in my soul and see how I feel about it. And it's actually true. Intuition is like your guardian. It's how you feel about something. But the problem is we don't trust our intuition. And here's where I want you to think of life as a cloud or as a wave. You know, have you ever seen a misshaped wave or a misshaped cloud? No, there is nothing. It's always right. So I need you to think that you will always make the right decision. You will never make mistakes. By doing this, by living as a cloud, living as a wave, knowing that you will never make a mistake because you are always doing the right thing, you will make big decisions and you will gain self-confidence, confident in your intuition, and that will change your entire life. So stop overthinking stuff. I've been overthinking the whole thing and I got stressed, and it's not cool to get stressed. So stop overthinking stuff. Live as a cloud, live as a wave, and make your decisions. Thank you very much.